Hello once again. Greetings from Estonia. My name is Andriana. I represent the company Shorelink. And today I wanted to talk about the shore power project from the perspective of the cable management system supplier. But first of all, a very short intro to Shorelink. So Shorelink is an Estonian technology company which makes a design and produces this cable management system and charging equipment for ports around the world. So we are based in Tallinn, headquarters and the production is based in Tallinn, but we have representation in Spain and Portugal. We have our representative Alvaro, so you are very much welcome to contact Alvaro for any further questions or contact the headquarters, so myself, for any further questions. And what is cable management system? Again, very shortly. So it is the last link between the shore and vessel site. It is equipment. It can be a fixed or mobile equipment which would be installed as a part of the shore power project. And the shore power project itself would include the cable management system part and the OPS part. And OPS part is, as you can see, it's a substation, it's a power transformer, it's frequency converter is needed. So here, two of those parties need to cooperate in order to make this shore power project done and to make it a successful project. And from Shorelink side, we are cooperating with local and global OPS and EPC contractors to make this approaching happen in different countries. Now I wanted to introduce you different types of the cable management system which is existing in the market. I would like to start with the fixed installations. So cable management system equipment can be fixed or can be mobile. Usually you have a fixed installation when you have a vessel itself which is docked precisely in the same space every time. So it's fixed in the docking from the docking perspective. So if you have the vessel every time in the same space, then you can just put one's installation and operate it from a vessel or from the shore site with the remote control. So basically you would need to turn the boom towards the vessel hatch and retrieve the cables. That's it. It's very easy. It's very quick. Usually the connection from the fixed installations takes few minutes. And now talking about the same fixed group, we need to understand that each vessel type would require a different equipment. And the reason why, because different vessels consume different amount of power and they have different voltage. It's low or medium voltage which is required. So let's talk about medium voltage first. So majority of the vessels which would consume medium voltage and would require fixed installations is RoRo and RoPax vessels. So here you would need to have, let's say, this dispenser type equipment. As I mentioned, the idea would be just to move the boom towards the vessel and make a connection. And for medium voltage, you need only one power cable, so it's very easy and very quick. But here we also have many differences because you will still need to have some additional reach in some cases. So here we can propose the telescopic boom, which in park position is very compact, but if needed, it can extend up to 12 and more meters. So it is giving additional flexibility to the operation and to the working range of this equipment. And again, here the telescopic can be a vertical or horizontal, so there are different options which we can provide, but usually it's needed when you have a hatch very high, like in this case which I'm showing on the screen, or also vessel can be a little bit docked a little bit further from the quay as well. So there are different options where you would need this telescopic equipment. Also, talking about low voltage equipment, so usually it's a bulk carriers, for example, or some LNG capture or carbon capture vessels which would require this low voltage. And if low voltage is required, then we need to have more than one power cable. It is 3 or 4 or 5 or more. So here also we have done many different designs and many different installations with different number of power cables. everything what you are seeing, it's a case project, and for shore power, cable management system is a very let's say, important component which usually requires some additional redesign for special case or for special customer. Now we are going to the mobile equipment. Actually, the same vessel types which I just mentioned can require sometimes a mobile application. Why? Sorry. Why? It's because sometimes the vessel is docked slightly in different position and we need additional mobility to connect to the vessel. And as you can see, I'm showing actually a RoRo application which is mobile. So you see still one power cable, but it's not anymore a fixed dispenser, but it's actually a mobile cable management system. And this is a project which we have done in Port of Barcelona for Grimaldi terminal. So you see that the hatch is located very high. So we need to have extended and telescopic boom in that case. And it is, let's say, a machine which moves and gives the power, especially in front of the hatch as needed. And what is very important also to consider when we are talking about the mobile machines is that if you have a mobile machine, it means that at some point you connect your machine, the cable management system, to the connection cabinet, and you would need to move towards next to the vessel hatch. And sometimes it is few meters, sometimes it's more than few meters. So it means that the cable which is connected to the connection cabinet would be laid on the quay. And you have also options here, whether you put this cable on ground, so it will be, as you can see here, over the ground, so it will be visible, and it can disturb some operations if you have some other operations happening in the quay. Or it can be hidden, like we did in Barcelona. So basically, we have had this underground connection cabinet where we connect one end of the cable, and then we hide cable into the trench system. It's covered, and then basically it's protected. The cable itself is protected, and you can have further operations on the quay. Sometimes it's not possible to do that because sometimes the quay is too old, or it doesn't allow, or it doesn't have a space to do that. So in some of the cases, of course, we have overground cabinets. And it is not something problematic. You just cover this area where you have the cables. You can also put protection on the cable, so it's handled, but it's something what you need to consider when you choose a cable management system, and then you understand how exactly it should work and how exactly it should be operated. Now talking about cruise vessels, majority of the cruise vessels require the mobile cable management system. As you see, as you know, the cruise vessels are very big. So if they slightly dock in the different space, then you need to somehow reach this destination. And yes, most of the cases, this equipment is mobile. And second point here is that for the cruise vessels, you actually have to give to the vessel 4 power cables, because the power which required for the cruise vessels is much bigger than any other vessel type. So yes, these 4 power cables is hard to manage with the small equipment. That's why this additional powerful equipment is required. Not for every cases we need to have a very big and long boom, because sometimes the hatch of the vessel is located basically on the same level as the machine, and then we can have a little bit more compact machine with a little bit less working range, but that would be the best fit for the project. And our aim here is to understand the requirements of the project and actually supply the best fit for this project. What is also very important for this cruise installations and cruise machines is that, again, you have 4 power cables, and those cables are heavy and plugs are heavy, and you have a lot of cables as well. So the cable handling should be easy and safe. In case of Shorelink, cables can be handled one by one, so you don't need to manage them all simultaneously. And what is else important, that basically each cable has a motor, and basically you can just push the button on the remote control, and you reel on a real cable to the length and to the height what you need. So it's very easy to operate, and it saves a lot of time for the operators. And as you see, machine is moving, and there are types. There are options how we can make this machine move. It can be a towed machine, so you have a special additional electrical truck to move this cable management system around the quay, or you just put the batteries on board of this machine and make it self-propelled. So in that case, you just need to have a remote control. You push the button, machine start driving, and it means that you can make savings on operators and operation activities. So in case of self-propelled machine, basically you can operate it with 1 or 2 people. We recommend 2 because this machine is still big, and just one person should operate it, and second just should make sure that nothing else is disturbing the way where machine moves. And this is how I'm showing now how this cable management system looks like when it's ready to make a connection. So basically the cable management system would be fixed, outriggers would be lowered, and then we can start boom operation. So as you can see, boom can go high, boom can go low. This is something what we can regulate. And then you start driving the cables, reeling off the cables one by one or all together as you wish, as you prefer. And what is very important, this exact moment when you give these cables and plugs to the vessel. So you don't need to lift them in case of Shorelink. You just need to push them, pull them. Same from vessel side when you receive them, because as I told you, this cable reeling is very smooth and easy because we have special motors which makes this cable reeling and unreeling smooth, and yes, without any additional manpower needed. Yes, and this is something else what is important to consider for the cruise installations and cruise cable management system. And also, cable management system can be located on the vessel side. So we have a shore side and vessel side installations. In majority of the cases, vessel side cable management system is required when we are talking about the container vessels. So we can place the cable management system just on the board of the container vessel or inside of the so-called containerized solution. So everything like cable reels, switchgear cabinets, etc. is placed into the container. Container is placed on the vessel, and then you get the cables from the vessel to the shore. The most challenging part comes when the vessel, when the cables are lowered down to the shore, because as you know, in the container terminals, you don't have space at all, especially to put something fixed, because you always have a lot of operations, cranes are moving. So this connection point where the vessels, the cables from the vessel side would be connected to the shore, it is the most critical point. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have a solution. It does, but this would not be a universal solution. Each terminal in each case would need to be considered separately, because I assume there are different options for different cases. And in most of the cases, this connection cabinet is made mobile, so it can move, because again, container vessels are also big, and they could be not docked precisely in the right place. So this moving cabinet is one of the options, and also some extending reels can be an option. So everything can be considered. And if you need assistance and advices here, contact us, and we will be glad to talk about your case and find the best suitable solution here. And what I also wanted to mention, that in Shorelink, we also supply charging equipment. So it's not only cable management system and shore power. And what I wanted to show you today, it's a mobile charger, so charger connector. So the vessel arrives to the port, send the Bluetooth signal to the charging connector. It automatically moves. So the arm is moving out, find the socket. Then the socket is found, it makes the plug-in. And basically the charging starts at this moment, and then the same arm can move together with the ship movement. It's tied, loading, unloading, and etc. And basically, if charging is finished, and usually it requires a short time, so this full automated version of the of this chargers required when you have really few minutes at the port stay and when ferry is going further. So this automation, of course, saves a lot of time and can make this happen. This is one of the options, and of course we have many more designs to present and to show for any case which is needed. And now I wanted to come to the most maybe important part from my presentation. It's the lessons learned. So at Shorelink we have been involved in many other different projects in many different countries, and there are, let's say, universal points which I wanted to point out today. First and very important lesson learned is underestimation of cable management system as one of the major and important components of the shore power. So sometimes we receive tenders where the cable management system, the part where we have the most of expertise, is described with a few sentences. And of course, it's not enough. We need to know much more to make sure that the solution we are proposing is the best suit. And this is a very critical and important point, because if you get not the right solution, then basically you cannot make the connection. And our uncertainty comes from the type of the equipment, as I presented you earlier. So there are different types. And before going to the procurement, you need to understand what exactly is your solution, whether it needs to be fixed, mobile, how the cables would be laid. And this cable laying point is also very important, because if you need to hide the cables, then of course you need additional civil work, and it would expand the scope for the tender as well. Of course, we know that some of the studies are made a few years before you start the procurement, and it leads to the point that sometimes we receive very outdated technical description. So I would like to assure you that the suppliers like us and our colleagues, we are not sitting we are all constantly innovating. We are trying to improve the equipment, make it more feasible, compact, cost efficient, and etc. So, if we are receiving a description of very old machine, then of course you are also not getting the best solution for your point. For your project. And the same point comes to the commercial part. So sometimes the budget is made a few years ago, and of course is not updated prices and it's not market prices, and then it means that your tender would not succeed, and maybe you would need to have another tender. So it's very important to keep your procurement documents up to date. And here, of course, you can check around what suppliers are doing, communicate, ask us to present the new developments, and we are always keen to do that. This is sure. And also, of course, it's great to see around how other ports has managed the cable management system and the shore power project in general. But it doesn't mean that it is the best solution for you. So it's super important, and we always invite customers to see installations which has been done already. But still, you need to consider your specialties, port side and vessel side, in order to describe the cable management system in the tender. And one of the last points here on this part is the operation cost. So especially when we are talking about mobile system, you see that you need to have a team who would actually every time make an operation of this equipment when you need to make a shore power connection. And if you put it in the perspective of a few years, like 5, 10, 15 years, it means that every time you would need to have a manpower to do that, and it is operation cost. So please consider not only the capex, so capital cost, but also opex, operation cost, when you select a cable management system. So again, if we are talking about, for example, cruise system, then our equipment can be operated with the minimum personnel, and it is very, very important if you put that in big picture and understand how much actually you would need to spend resources on that. And of course, second lessons learned is constant technical uncertainty. We totally understand that shore power projects are not something, let's say, common, and still ports are only starting with that. So of course some have already done at least one installation, but it is always required to communicate with suppliers, with partners, in order to get the whole picture of this of the shore power projects. And what we see here is sometimes we receive technical documentations with over-dimensioned technology, where we of course can supply this big machine, but sometimes it's not needed. So we can make it, we can cut the cost and cut the space. And it is very important in the long perspective. It's also very important to communicate with the vessels which are coming to your port, because this vessel requirements actually are base of the cable management system. So vessels are saying what exactly you need, because we are going to use this equipment. Yes, and also we invite to talk between each other, between ports, to share equipment, and of course invite to talk with the suppliers. And I wanted also to show you that in our YouTube channel in Shorelink, you can find also a lot of different tutorials where we explain the cable management system technology, where we show step-by-step operation of this technology, and where you can actually learn something new on how to operate if, for example, you have not ever seen this operation or installation in real life. You're also very much welcome to visit us in Estonia. It's getting warmer, no worries. So you can visit our installation in the port, and of course our production, and meet our team. And we think that it's a super nice opportunity to learn, to discuss, to share experience, and etc. So thank you very much. I hope it was interesting and useful. Contact us if you need more clarity, or you have any questions, or you have something to discuss. And also invite you to follow a LinkedIn page where we constantly share news of Shorelink, industry news, and all related to shore power. So thank you.